turn my hands into.
Introduce the gentleman who will be our master of ceremonies this evening. He was the 1992-93 Macomb County Coach of the Year, Al Snyder from Mount Clemens High School.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure for me to be here tonight. And as we all know, there's a tremendous amount of excitement in here for what happened at the state tournament this past weekend, and that's what we're going to be hearing about. And I think also there's always a lot of excitement, a lot of fun to meet every player that showed up here tonight. We really appreciate that, and see them and see what team they made. And I think it's also a lot of fun to see all the coaches. I really believe the coaches do a tremendous job. Well, my daughters are here tonight. They told me let's eat. So let's all bow our heads at this time and each in our own way say a silent prayer. Amen. Thank you. And we may now serve the meal and do enjoy.
Let us think for it. Amen. Let's think.
Introduce people here at the head table. Let me see. Again, you got to excuse me a little bit tonight. You know, I'm a little tired. I had a rough week last week. When my team gets knocked out of the tournaments, I like to go and follow the rest of the tournament. And usually, you know, it's like a regular pregame, superstitious, get ready for the ball game type of thing with me. I start pacing around the house and say, you know, I got to leave in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I got to leave. And I know that my family's kind of thinking, I wish you'd get out of here. Then I got to go to these games, and I feel I actually have to both teams, you know, and I just do a lot of coaching sitting there in the stands. And last week, I think in my total, I went to 4 championship games, something like 8 semifinals, and 2 quarterfinals. And I was pretty tired by the end of the week, but I was glad to report that I won them all. My record was undefeated there in the stands. It's real easy to do that in the stands, let me tell you. Let me see, at the head table here, we have...
We tell you a little bit about the season Devon had. He is a senior. This is his second state coaches from Lakeshore High School that won the state Class B championship with a thrilling victory on Saturday over East Grand Rapids. And if you fellas would please stand, beginning with James Strebo. Jason Knoll. Jeff Patu. John Murtaugh. Ryan Reitz. Travis Conlon. Jeremy Collins. Chris Reeves. Pat Flaherty. Dan Lacey. Carlo Sesta. Ron Wallace. And Ian Bondi. The assistant coaches from the state champs are Dave Browser, Fred Schultz, and Tom Mel. The manager is Tom Ireland. And the head coach is Greg Esper. This is the first time we've had an opportunity to do this. If you folks would all please stand again. Ladies and gentlemen, Class B State Basketball.
Absolutely, that was well worth it, wasn't it? They deserve that. I know that Macomb County, just last year we were talking about, we're going to break through and we're going to win one. And here just a year later, Macomb County has done this. Notice it used to be that Lakeshore had done this. Now it's Macomb County has done this. So that's the way it goes. But it really saved me because my in-laws are from East Grand Rapids. And I took a lot of gas in the football season because East Grand Rapids knocked off Oxford, who had beat Mount Clemens in OT. And so when this one came around, I said, there's never a doubt, it's Lakeshore. So thanks, guys. Now I'm going to introduce Mr. Bernie Kennedy, the future Hall of Famer, who is going to talk about the Class A and B, C, D All-Stars.
Thank you, Al. If you would, permit me to say a few things about my coming induction to the Hall of Fame. The coaches are honoring me, but I just showed you, fans, I want to tell you that over the years we've had great rapport with the coaches, and I've always told people to compliment what we do for high school sports. They're only as good as the people at the other end. I think my honor is reflected on the coaches who have been very understanding and cooperative and the greatest of friends over the years, so thank you very much. Just to give you a little bit of background, the way the all-county all-star teams are selected, we ask every coach to submit entry or nominate players for his team for consideration. We have a meeting at the newspaper, one meeting for the Class A teams, the other for the BCD teams. The coaches vote, we publish the teams, and now we introduce the players that were named to these respective teams. What we'll do is we'll go down school by school. I'll announce the players, coaches, they'll stand briefly, and then be seated, and then we'll have all the players stand up for one round of applause. Starting with the BCD from Antioch Baptist Academy, John Robbins, Coach Bill Boggs. Our native regional champion of Inlay City, Eric Hill, and Paul Jones, and I don't think they're here tonight. About the Exploits of Lakeshore, they were our #1 team in BCD all season long. And it should be noted that with a 28-0 record, they were the winningest team in the state of Michigan this year. Their all-stars are Travis Conlon, Jeff Mattu, Jeremy Collins, Frank Flaherty, and Coach Greg Essler. From Lakeview, Matt Lockhart and Coach Jay Ritchie. Luther North, Kevin Morosky, Kyle Simmons, and Coach John Brandt. Moving on to Class A, we'll follow the same procedure.
The rest of the program, that's what we got now.
all-Macomb County team tonight. A couple of thank yous that we would like to extend this evening. Every year we ask 4 coaches to vote in our Class A and Class B CD polls. And this year in Class A, coaches Marty Hallward of Romeo and Craig Morris of Stevenson, and in Class B CD, Al Snyder of Mount Clemens and Paul Jones of Armada helped us out all season, and we appreciate that very much and thank them for that. I'd like to bring you up to date on where we are at this program. At this point in the program, the players who are listed in the program are those who were named to the Class A and Class B CD teams by panels of coaches. As Bernie explained a little bit earlier, they were nominated by their coaches. Those teams were published in our paper a few weeks ago, and what we do every year then is taking the list of the Class A and Class B CD teams, then our staff compiles from those lists the all-Macomb County teams, and those are the players that we would like to introduce to you now. We'd like to begin with the players named to the honorable mention list. And when your name is called, if you would come up to the front here and receive from Bruce McLeod your certificate, and then return to your seat, and when all of the honorable mention players have been introduced, then we'll ask you to stand once again. And we begin with Anchor Bay and Ken Warner. From Antioch Baptist Academy, John Robbins. From Centerline, Greg Mallmeister. From Clintondale, Eric Brown. From Eisenhower, Scott Diver. From Fitzgerald, John Seischer. From Ford, Matt McCullough and Brian Krenzel. From Lakeshore, Pat Flaherty. From Lakeview High School, Matt Lockhart. Next, we would like to introduce the 5 players named to the all-Macomb County 4th team. And when these players are called, if you would please come up and receive your certificate from Bruce, and then line up here in front of the head table. We begin with a player from Anchor Bay, Joe Holland. I'd like to tell you a little bit about each of these fellas. Joe is a 6'2" senior. He made more than 50 three-point field goals this season. He carries a 3.9 grade point average and is a standout left-handed pitcher for the Tars baseball team. Also named to the 4th team, Jeremy Collins from Lakeshore. Jeremy is a 6'1" senior. He was a reliable three-point field goal shooter this season and last, as he helped the Shoreans become the first Macomb County team to have consecutive 20-0 regular season records. And if you saw the state championship game on Saturday, you remember a very crucial three-pointer that he made in that game. From Newton North, Kevin Morosky, a 6'6" junior. Kevin averaged 22 points and 14 rebounds per game before a late season injury sidelined him. Also named to the 4th team, Jeff Booza of Stevenson. Jeff is a 6' senior. He scored 19 points, including 14 on free throws in the Titans district championship victory over L'Anse Creuse. His play helped Stevenson lead Macomb County teams in regular season defensive scoring average at 45.4 points per game. Stevenson was the only county Class A team to win 20 games. Regan Rice of Warren Mott. Regan is a 5'9" senior. He scored 24 points in a victory over Ford. He was at his best late in games, as evidenced by his 13 fourth quarter points in a game against L'Anse Cruz, and the 16 points he scored in the final quarter of a game against Romeo. Dangerous from anywhere on the court, these 5 players specialize in connecting long distance, and one of them, the inside player, is a junior and will be back for more honors next year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Macomb County Board. Now introducing the players named to the Macomb County first team. And we begin with a 6'5" senior from the center line, Marty Gibbs. Marty led center line in scoring with 356 points and made 61% of his field goal attempts. He scored 21 points in a district victory over Warren Woods Tower and 38 in a district win over Clintondale. His brother Donnell was an All-Macomb County player last year. Also, named to the first team, Jason Rizzick from East Detroit, a 6'3" senior. Jason was the first East Detroit player in 11 years to be named the Macomb County Class A first team. A lot of you will recognize the name of Ron Kramer, who went to East Detroit, later to the University of Michigan, played for the Lions and Green Bay Packers. Jason broke 2 of Ron Kramer's scoring records this season. His 475 points broke Kramer's record of 471 total for a record for points scored in a single season. Kramer set the record of 471 in 1952-53, and also this season Jason scored 44 points in one game against Roseville, breaking Kramer's single game record. From Lakeshore, a 6'5" senior, Travis Conlon. Travis repeats as a member of the Macomb County first team. He averaged 21.5 points and 9.5 steals per game this season. He had 17 assists in one game. He has signed a national letter of intent with the University of Michigan. Also on the first team, one of Travis's teammates, a 6'5" senior, Jeff Coutu. Jeff averaged 15.5 points per game this season. This is the second year he has been a member of the All-Macomb County team. He had a 30-point game during the regular season and a 20-point effort in a Class B regional semifinal victory over Clawson. Rounding out the All-Macomb County first team is a 6'2" senior from Romeo, Chad Boltnick. In Chad's 3 varsity seasons, Romeo's record improved from 7-14 to 14-9 to 19-4 this season, which included the championship of the Macomb Area Conference White Division. Chad had a streak of 27 consecutive games scoring in double figures that began last season and carried into this season. He averaged 14 points and 8 assists this year. He has signed a letter of intent to continue his career at Michigan Tech. Each player here averaged at least 15 points per game. They represent 3 league champions and 3 teams that advanced at least as far as a district championship game. And 2 of these players already have to sign college letters of intent. This is the all Macomb County first team All-Star. I'll try this this way. When the program is finished this evening, the players named to the all-Macomb County team and the winners of the annual Team, Coach, and Player of the Year awards, information about the award winners and the all-Macomb County teams will be on inserts that you can add to your programs, and those will be available at the table on your way out if you would like to pick one of those up. And one other note, the records on the back page, we realized that we're 2 games short on Lakeshore. Our production schedule dictated that we include the record up through the quarterfinals. In tomorrow's edition of the newspaper, we will reprint that with the updated record in case you'd like to clip that. Every basketball season we find has a personality and a pace of its own. Each season begins with practice in November and concludes in a kind of madness in March. In between are series of highs and lows, pleasant surprises, and disappointments. Observers of basketball in Macomb County this season watched the development of 2 stories that for many weeks paralleled one another. 2 teams rolled to the best seasons in their school's histories. Each had a record-winning streak. Each won a league championship. Each stood on a foundation of players developed together years before they actually became varsity members. These teams won more games than any other schools in the county this season. One team gave its coach the 300th victory of his career. The other gave its coach the distinction of being the only man in county history to pilot consecutive 20-game regular season winners. Each team tipped off its season full of optimism. One still felt the glow of the previous season when it set multiple county records. The other returned the nucleus of a team that had been tri-champion in its league. They piqued attention and curiosity. They played in filled gymnasiums. They brought recognition to their schools and their communities. Unusual variables can produce unusual outcomes. And this was an unusual basketball season in Macomb County. 13 years have passed since the award we are about to confer has been presented in this manner at this event. Even more time has passed since 2 schools can collectively say they accomplished what these 2 did this season. That's why tonight there is a break from tradition and the embracing of an opportunity to honor 2 gentlemen who led their teams to new heights. That's why tonight the 1993-94 Macomb County Coach of the Year Award is being presented to Greg Essler of Lakeshore and Fabian Grill of Timberland. Perhaps as much or more than any other game, basketball provides a wonderful paradox. In its purest form, it is a team sport, and at the same time, It is an endeavor in which an individual can, within the parameters of teamwork, shape the flow, the feel, and the rhythm of a game. Now and again, players come along who have such a grasp of the game and such a wealth of skills that at times it seems they are choreographing the movements of the other players on the floor. I had an opportunity 10 years ago to be at Joe Louis Arena the night Isaiah Thomas scored 16 points in 93 seconds during an NBA playoff game. A week and a half ago, I sat in on an unforgettable performance by a high school player. In the second half of a state tournament game, this player scored 24 points in less than 10 minutes, helping his team rally from an 11-point deficit to a victory and a regional championship. Early on, I gave only fleeting consideration to comparisons between those two performances. Then after more consideration, the more it seemed that at its own level and in its own context, the performance on that high school floor in a sweltering gymnasium where the capacity crowd spilled from the bleachers and stood along the baseline was every bit as dramatic as the one I'd seen by a professional player 10 years earlier. These were the similarities. Team trailing, season on the line, full house watching, and a guard took into his hands the direction of the game. Usually, when we think about history repeating itself, we think in terms of years or generations, not in terms of 8 days. By now, you probably have heard about, or read about, or perhaps you saw in person on Saturday, one of the most dramatic plays of this season. 8 days after his explosion in a regional championship game, this individual made what for a high school player is the ultimate play. With the game clock winding toward zero, he made the basket that lifted his team to a state championship. Over the years in our profession, we have had an opportunity to watch several outstanding athletes play from Macomb County high schools. In the last decade alone, we've watched Alan Jefferson sprint with a football for De La Salle and marveled at the way Joe Youngblood could pass a football for Eisenhower. We've watched Mike Poplowski play basketball with great passion at De La Salle and seen Devon Gray twice wrestle at the top of his weight class while wearing the colors of Roseville High. We've also witnessed in recent seasons a basketball player blossom into a Big Ten recruit. Our lasting impressions of him are not just the pinpoint passes he has delivered, not just the three-point goals he has made, not just the steals, the blocked shots, and the rebounds he has accumulated. Many of you know that he wears uniform number 21. You might not know that he wears that number in tribute to and in memory of a close friend who died in an accident a few years ago. After he had played his final game in his school's gymnasium, helping his team finish the regular season undefeated, he thought back to a pregame ceremony and said, "I was holding back tears before the game when they introduced my mom and dad. It was an emotional and inspirational night. I'm just grateful, thankful that God gave me the abilities he did." During the state tournament, as his team advanced from the quarterfinals to the semifinals, he was asked by a reporter to comment on the importance of representing Macomb County in those late stages of the postseason. He said, "It's not just our school, the whole county gets this recognition." Tonight we have come full circle. We are, in fact, and indeed, marking the end of an era in Macomb County basketball. In every one of the last 7 seasons, this player's high school team has had as its point guard either this young man or one of his brothers, and all 3 of them have been named to all Macomb County teams. If you have watched him play, or listened to the things he has said, or noted the way he has carried himself, we believe that you too would conclude that this is a player who has been given special gifts and worked very hard to utilize them, that this is a teenager whose presence and personality are impressive as a shooting range, and that this is the 1993-94 Macomb County Player of the Year, Travis Conlon of West Shore. Before I present the final award this evening, again, I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight and remind you that that inserts listing the players' names of the Macomb County team and the winners of the awards will be by the doors that you can pick up on the way. And also, we ask that the players' names of the Macomb County first team please come up here to the head table at the end of the program for some pictures. Thank you very much. If there is a legacy being left by the undefeated 1993-94 Michigan Class B championship basketball team, perhaps it will be that the 13 players and their coaches always believed in one another, that they never allowed distractions to keep them from achieving their ultimate goal. The Class B championship team was the only one of among more than 700 in the state of Michigan to go undefeated through the season. When you think about what those players and coaches did this season, remember that it was done despite the graduation loss of a 1993 All-State player who was the Macomb County Player of the Year. How many high school programs can lose a Division I college recruit and improve on the one-loss record the next season? 2 days ago, when state champions were being crowned, I thought back to a night several years ago when I watched this school's team win a non-conference game in December. Following that game, the coach talked about how he and his players wanted to win consistently enough to be ranked among the 5 best teams in their class in Macomb County. It didn't matter to the coach that his school's program had lost 50 games the 3 seasons prior to his arrival. His attitude and the players' attitude was, why not? Why can't we be rated among the best in Macomb County? From those beginnings to the present, the attitude surrounding this team has not changed. From the head coach to the assistant coaches to the players who have gone through the program, they have been believers in one another. They have been true to the belief that they could accomplish anything. All of us can see and read about and appreciate the awards and the recognition that the players and the coaches on this team have received. However, it's possible that we cannot fully understand the prices they have paid to get where they've gone. Only they and their families know the sacrifices they've made. Only they truly understand how hard they have worked. And only they really know the depths of the disappointments that they have experienced together. Since the first Monday in March, we at the newspaper have tried through words and pictures to present a glimpse into the emotions and the motivations of the participants in the state high school tournament. But where it concerns the Class B champions, perhaps the most succinct, most heartfelt perspective was offered by the coach of the team. A few minutes after Saturday's game, he was answering reporters' questions about the one-point victory. It was a victory achieved when a shot with 2 seconds to play bounced on and then rolled around the rim before dropping through the net. After the coach had answered several questions, he ended the news conference with these remarks. He began, "I would just like to say one thing. 3.5 years ago, my son, my oldest son Doug, died in an accident. This championship is proof that you can beat tragedy if you have love, family, and a belief in God." On that last basket, maybe it was Doug looking out for us. Maybe he helped that ball go in. They already have collected trophies for winning league, district, regional, and state championships. If there's room in the school display case for one more piece of hardware, we would like to officially end the 1993-94 high school basketball season by presenting the 1993-94 Macomb County Team of the Year Award to the players and coaches of Lakeshore High School.
Congratulations to all the winners, and thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. I always think of one thing in closing, and that is you just can't gather every rose. You have to leave the rest for others. And so those of us that did gather rose tonight, congratulations to you. And those of you that want to be back next year, we'll see you in 94, 95.
Members from all over Macomb County.
Look what we have here, Jack.
I think we got the Jefferson Middle School down there.
No.
Oh, man, look at them. Don't they look fine, ladies and gentlemen?
The Lakeshore High School basketball team, Class B state champ.
That's it. How about a big round of applause for us?
Coached by Greg Esler and managed by Tom Ireland. I'm going to try to give you their names. James Scribo, Jason Knoll, Jeff Powder, John Murtaugh, Brian Reese, Travis Conlon, Jerome Collins, Chris Reese, Pat Flaherty, Dan Lacey, Carl Sestio, Ron Wallace, and Ian Bondi.
I think about all those guys got scholarships somewhere or something. I mean, they're going on, that's for sure. We're going to be hearing about them. Congratulations, guys, for bringing a lot of pride to us. Now we got the Jefferson Middle School marching band.